Welcome to Hump Days.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for coming back, everyone. We have a fun episode today. Rebecca got a set at the Mothership,
Woo-hoo.
Joe Rogan's new studio. It was it's quite the experience.
It was so fun. Oh my God. What a beautiful venue. I'm just like, there are times when I feel like I doubt myself for moving to Austin.
Yeah.
But that really, really reassured me that, we're in the right place. Because it feels like officially the capital of comedy. And don't get me wrong, all the other venues are a lot of fun too. And it's so cool to be in a city that's so supportive of comedy. But that Mothership, I don't think the name is misleading anyone. It is definitely the Mothership. Like, it is going to be like the mecca, of comedy for a while here. It's pretty stunning.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very proud of you for getting to do a setup there in the little boy room. That's pretty awesome.
It was beautiful.
That's awesome. It's pretty cool.
First ever open mic.
Yeah, the first ever open mic. You're a part of history. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
It was like an audience of like 200 people in there.
Yeah, the little boy room, it fits a lot of people, surprisingly.
Yeah. And
it was really nice.
Yeah, and you got to see the bar named after Mitzi Shore before anyone else did.
Mitzi's.
That's awesome.
It's so cool too, and it's in such a nice location, right downtown. Well, it's I don't know if it's a nice location. It's a great spot because it's central, but 6th Street is crazy.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, that's the street in Austin. I feel like Austin is just like, people are like, oh, it's such a fun party city, and then it's just like that one strip.
It's just 6th Street. Yeah. But it is like there's so many clubs there right now because Joe Rogan opened up next to the Vulcan Theater, and that's where Joe Rogan would be on every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, as well as Kill Tony used to film there. But now they're moving over to the Mothership, was just like a block down the street.
Yeah.
So and like even further down the street than that, not really further, but Bernard, quiet.
That guy.
You have the Creek in the Cave, which is a great comedy club. They let the comics hang out in the back. They have the best one of the best backyards. They have a food truck there. They have a bar. They have another stage.
Fun
really
green
cool.
room.
The Vulcan, which is on 6th Street, used to be a strip club, and then they turned it into a comedy club.
And it works.
And it works perfectly.
It is the highest ceiling I've ever seen in a comedy.
Yeah, it's 2 floors, and
room.
then
Like, it's like 2 floors stacked. It's super fun. It has it's called Vulcan Gas Company. It sort of has that grungy feel.
And then we have the Mothership. Then the Mothership down the street where they're doing Kill Tony. And we went to Kill Tony. I'll put up a clip of like how crazy that alley is. Which is just, that alley for Kill Tony is nuts.
Oh my God.
Like, wow, like, what was your experience of it?
I was shocked that even with you, like, in arm, I was getting like harassed. I mean, it's not harassed, just like catcalled, like be awkward, like.
Yeah.
It's mostly autistic. Let's
they're autistic.
Nothing wrong with being autistic.
Oh
my God, cut that.
If someone was driving by that alley,
yeah,
and they like didn't know there was a show on, they'd think it was Skid Row. Because it's a 2-hour show and you have to wait back there, so everyone's pissing in the alley. Like by the end of it, it just
they're selling beer to each other.
Selling beer. Like
they run. Oh no, what's his name?
Which one?
The one who's selling beer.
Oh, Derek.
Derek was being iconic. Or actually, we shouldn't say his name because we don't want to get in trouble.
Why?
If it was supposed to.
We're not gonna say last name. It's a common name.
Okay. Well, Derek was selling beer to everyone, and I think he got through like 6 or 7 cases of beer, maybe 9. And then all of that was pissed out right into the alleyway. Yeah. And you just were walking on pee, and it smelled horrible. And then like Ridge was smart.
Some people brought chairs. That's what we're doing from now on.
Bringing blankets and a chair, which was perfect. And I wish that we did that. We'll do that from now on.
Yeah, because it is a great experience. Because it can, not to put any damper on it, it's just like if you get 200 comedians anywhere, it just becomes like a piss show. So it doesn't matter where it was.
They could put a couple porta potties, honestly.
Well, it's they might.
You have different standards because you're a man. Yeah. But as a woman, I was like, this is horrifying.
That's true.
But I'm like still gonna do it. I want to be on Kill Tony. But I feel like it's just so every episode you have to hold it for 2 hours, but they don't. Like the reality is that they don't. So it's nice if they had porta potties, so we weren't walking in pee. And anyway, but the show is so much fun, and obviously it's all worthwhile. But they pull women at the end.
Well, they have to have they try to get a woman on the show.
At least one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, people could argue that's unfair.
Yeah.
Right?
I
They
think
could be
it's-
like,
yeah.
everyone has, it's a lottery system, everyone has a shot kind of thing. But after experiencing that alley, I'm like, no, that's 150% fair. Because, like, having you, I was still kind of like, not like threatened for my life or anything, but just like annoyed.
Yeah, just creeped out. It's like,
Just
it's not
like,
worth it.
this is a hassle to have to, like, dodge these people and things
That
like
don't
that.
understand social cues. Like, a lot of them don't understand social cues.
Or just, it's just not it's just, I don't know why, I just feel like there should be kind of an understanding that we're all like comics, so we're all like doing the same, like, I know, it's more fun than a job or, but like, I think that workplace kind of standard needs to stay, where I know that people are going to date each other and stuff, and that's not like not allowed, but I just wish that it was like a little more of like a standard for female comics, because I feel like I know my friends who are female comedians, I'm like, they have to be pretty tough and like pretty like, shut shit down once in a while, and you have to be like pretty good at that, and you have to be like, hey, I don't know, sometimes it's just nice if you're respected as a comedian, like as a fellow, like, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, you can date other comics, right? We're dating each other. It happens. We met each other before I ever did stand-up, though.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, and I don't know if it would have happened if we met as comics. Like, you might not have gone over that line, but you might have.
Haven't before, but maybe, yeah.
Maybe. But I feel like it's... You have to think of how down the line that person may be in a position where they can invite you to a show or a big opportunity down the line, like in a networking, business
you're networking.
sense.
See it as a business thing instead of like, oh, this is high school again, I'm gonna hit on you for this. Like, it's not high school. See it as a business.
Exactly, and that's
a convention.
That's,
so it's just like a networking event.
You can still bang people you're doing business
People
with.
bang people at network conventions all the time, but they're discreet about it. They're not like, yo, girl, like, yo, girl, like, they don't just go off and pee in the corner.
Or just like take a crack at it just cause. It's like, no, like this is something where you have to think down the line that person could be. I mean, you don't have to, I guess, do you? But that's what I would recommend.
I think with...
to consider they could help you out one day, and they're not going to do that if they're creeped out by you or feeling like...
Because we're from Vancouver, so it's not so... Like, I think you have to have I mean, they're ups and downs, but there's a level of self-awareness and, like...
what are you saying about Americans?
Well, I'm not Americans. I think it's like before, it's just like... how does that saying go where it's just like, too dumb for New York, too ugly for LA? But it's kind of like, because those are two spots, like if you just think you're a character, like I'm a character, I'm funny, I'm so outrageous, I'm just going to go do comedy. Just like how people thought they were hot, they're just going to go do acting. And I had a rude awakening, like acting actually takes skill. And I think now comedy is the new hot thing where it's just like, no, you can't just be this outrageous thing.
I mean, sometimes that works.
To what extent? I think you have to be able you have to be able to write a joke. So it's like you have to be able to understand comedy. Just like you have to be hot. What
to do what? To make an audience laugh or to
to be successful for sure.
To monetize it?
To monetize it, to even you can't just go up on there and just be like, yo, I'm outrageous, like, and not have jokes and like know how to network. I think even though you are on stage by yourself, you have to know how to you have to know how to network, because there's so many people here now.
Yeah.
That you have to be a fun hang. Like, cause like anyone can take your place. It's like, it's not like there's
a lot of options.
There's a lot of options for like if you're just difficult or weird anyone out or just like think you're hot shit. Like there's just 5 to like 10 people moving in every day to do stand up.
Yeah.
So it's just absolutely. Like it's like to your point where it's just like it's a networking event.
Like you have the alleyway. If you're, peeing on the wall and laughing and giggling that some girl stepped in your pee, it's like that girl could be that's just forever going to be remembered. Yeah. So it's just interesting to me that
well, it's kind of the new it's kind of like the new like back in the day, like I was reading the book Comedian right here.
The Comedians.
I was reading this book, Nerd. Well, just like the history of comedians and stuff like that. And a lot of them were talking about like back in the day, like when you would get you wanted like Carson. You want to get on Carson. So you'd work like Jerry Seinfeld, just work on his clean 5. He'd go to all those nightclubs. And then even though they wanted dirty, he would just do his clean 5 and just try to get it as tight as possible because he wanted Carson, get on Carson. That's how you would make it. And I think Kill Tony is kind of like that now, where it's just you keep going and trying to get up, but it's a luck of the draw, so it's even great. So even if like you're not politicking, I'm saying networking, but like politicking, which like some people do, but you don't have to worry about that. I think it's just like you can get on Kill Tony. Maybe the judges don't like you, but if you are funny, you have that you can put on the internet, and people will see it. So they have such a broad audience that it's just like no matter what, maybe they don't invite you to the secret show, maybe you don't get the joke book, but you still get that audience for yourself, which is really cool. Because I think it is like the modern day, like Johnny Carson. Like, oh, I got on Carson. Oh, I got on Kill Tony.
Oh, yeah,
so everyone's there
like
in the alley.
coolest,
and it is a cool experience. Like you're in an alley. So it's just a humbling thing where it's just like, hey, like there's a road ahead of you and you gotta fight through it. But it's just like, you just gotta work through it. Because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, where it's just us being from Canada. It's just like, so we get on a festival, but it's just for a credit. Like there's no way you can see yourself monetizing it much. Whereas just like if you make it in America, you can make it anywhere, because this is like the birthplace of stand-up comedy.
Land of the free, baby.
Land of the free. But you can just see it pass so clearly, because there's so many places to tour here in America. Just in like Texas alone, there's more places to do stand-up here than there is across Canada.
Yeah, 100%, and just concentrated in one city even.
Yeah, now it's just awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty phenomenal that way. But also, like you said, the alleyway was fun. Yeah, my favorite sign was, and I will put it up. And I think do you have videos as well of it? I'll put it up. But mine was like, the best sign ever was, it's like Alex Jones is the white DMX. I feel too young to get that.
Oh, it was pretty good. It's just funny. That's just Austin right there. So then your mom came to visit this week as well. So you got on the Mothership, which is pretty cool. You made history. And then we went and sorry, what were we gonna say? And then you went wedding dress shopping with your mom. You got a dress for a wedding.
Woo!
You all are invited.
Everyone can come. RSVP in the comments below.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like a crazy experience. I felt like, oh my God, I just decided to get it all done in one go. And I just took the day off and went to 3 different bridal salons. You have to book it pretty far in advance. You have to pay $25. And yeah, I felt bad because like each person was working so freaking hard to find a dress with me. And they all spent like an hour and a half appointments at least. Yeah. Some of them we stayed there for like 2 or 3 hours. I think that's probably common. Like, I mean, you're not much of a diva. So, I mean, I can't imagine like, they've probably been in there from like 9 to 5 with some people. They'd probably make them rebook if they had to. I bet that does happen. There's a lot of girls that go on there. This is not a size 12. You're a liar. They do. This is too small. They do size up. So they're actually it's kind of they should just not do that. Yeah. They should just make it the same sizes. But I'm typically a size 10, I would say, and it was like a size 12 that I had to get. No, bud, stop it. It's really bad, honey. Like, why even? You're like the quietest dog during the day. Like, you just don't like us having a show. Your mom came to town. Well, I just sacrificed my Bret Hart doll to Owen. So your mom came to town. You looked at wedding dresses. You had to book them in advance. So I forget what I was gonna ask you about that. I can't ask you what the dress looks like. So how many dresses would you try in each place? Like probably like 3, 4? I'd say 4 or 5, yeah. Wow. 4 or 5 dresses each time. And there was a huge range of prices. It's kind of insane. Anything from $1,000 really starting out to 10, 20,000. Like really crazy. So these are, I don't know. Is it inflation or has it always been this way? I don't know. Like the level of Bridezilla is dependent on the price of the dress. So like if someone said like, cause did you get asked the price range in advance? Yeah, you have to give them a limit so that they don't give you something that you fall in love with, which happened by accident. Yeah. I pulled one off the rack and I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I need to try it. And I tried it and I was like, I love it. Yeah, you sent me that. That's the one photo you did show me. Yeah, I was like, look at this one. And then the lady was like, oh, that, and I was like, how much is this one? And she was like, that one's $10,000 US. And I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, it's not that great. It's not that great. But it was so cute. So I realized too, like the dresses that are super, super fancy, like celebrity level dresses, they're all 10,000 and up. Like it's crazy. I went for something like I feel is maybe a bit more like simple, elegant, like not that much beading on it, that kind of thing. And just like got out of there. But yeah, I don't know. They're all pretty. There's so many beautiful options, but yeah, it's a bit overwhelming. I'm like, weddings are adding up, man. It's a little bit insane to have a wedding, honestly.
Yeah.
But
we'll be the last ones of our generations having weddings. No one's getting married anymore.
It'll be like a metaverse wedding, like way cheaper. Everyone can just come and dress whatever they want, and
they'll be loyal in the metaverse and cheat in real life.
The dresses did make me spiral a bit though, because I really prepared for the day. I like made sure that I tried to sleep enough, but then Bernie stayed up all night, so I was actually kind of cranky.
We have like dogs that are just really annoying. Like,
yeah,
that's why you guys gotta ruin my.
I think it's because we give them everything they want all the time.
Yeah, we gotta.
We never ever practice anything.
It's practice when you have kids though, because it's just like, okay, I gotta discipline them and not let you just walk all over me. But how can I say no to this cute little face? He just adores me. He just wants to hang out. He's like, what are you guys doing up here without me?
Aww.
Aw. Okay. So you plan in advance.
So I go in and I'm like, I planned all of these things back to back. Like you have to book in advance. It's like an hour and a half appointment, like hour and a half appointment minimum. And then like sometimes I was there for 3 hours with these people. I felt so bad for all the hard work that they did.
Yeah.
And because like I didn't end up using, stop it. And I didn't end up using, I didn't end up buying from like the first two I bought at the end of the day. Because I started to like figure out what I liked and everything, but I just wanted to get it all done in one shot.
Yeah.
And I'm super behind. Can you believe it? It's 6 months in advance, and that's like a super rush situation.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is planning on getting married and getting one of these wedding dresses, go 8 months in advance.
8 months in advance.
Or like a year or 3. Like go like 3 years in advance. And just hope it works out, and styles don't styles change so much by then. It's so bizarre. And the sizes were up from your regular size, so it was like one up, which I just think like totally messes with your head. And for me, like frickin' eating disorder broad, like I was triggering all sorts of things. But I knew that. I knew like going into the day, you're trying outfits on, you have to be calm.
And everyone loses weight before the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up buying a size smaller.
Good. I'm proud of you. Well, I told you. If we don't lose weight before like a wedding, we'll know like a month out. Then
okay,
you'll
divorce me?
No, tapeworms. We're getting. I keep saying we're gonna get a tapeworm. We're gonna lose 10 pounds for a wedding, or else we're getting tapeworms.
We're in this together.
It'll be one hell of a. We'll have to get a dog sitter. It'll be like a hell of a couple weeks.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
no, it'll happen. We have time.
And then, have you heard of any Bridezilla stories? Were you looking them up?
Mm-hmm. The look of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one more dresses story.
Bridezillas, baby.
It's all about the dresses.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for refusing to remove my medical equipment during my sister's wedding? My sister is getting married next weekend, and I'm a bridesmaid. Type 1 diabetic, and I wear 2 medical devices, a Dexcom blood sugar monitor on one arm and an Omnipod, futuristic, insulin pump on the other.
Yeah.
Woo. They're both really small, under 2 inches each. Really? That's cool. I feel like we're living in the future. And work together to automatically monitor and regulate my blood sugar levels. Mm-hmm. This basically means I don't have to prick my fingers to test my blood sugar or give insulin injections. Yeah. The system does that automatically and makes my life easier. Today, when we were trying on our dresses, my sister told me that she wants me to not wear them during the wedding because the gowns are sleeveless and the devices will look ugly in the photos. What? That is so sad. I just don't even know who would even think
what type of diabetic is that?
Type 1.
Is that the bad one or the good one? Let's see.
I think it's bad. I think they're all bad. What do you mean the good one? There's a good
Well, there's one
diabetes.
that's like, okay, what type of diabetes is the worst?
Does type 1 mean that you were...
Yeah, it's an autoimmune disease. So type 1. So she's type 1. So she didn't, so it's like,
like just like faint on my wedding day. Just
yeah,
like...
so she was born with it. It wasn't like, she ate her way into it.
Is that what you say, the good one versus the bad?
Well, yeah, the bad one is like, you can fix that. Like, it's just like you eat your way into it.
Well, you can't fix it after it's been done.
Well, yeah, but you ate your way into it. So it's like you can kind of regulate it a lot better than like you're born with it. It is an autoimmune disease.
Yeah. That's true. Like the Nick Jonas one is this one, I
Yeah.
think. All right. So that is crazy. She said that she was sleeveless. The dresses are sleeveless. It'll look ugly in photos. You can easily Photoshop this out, by the way. Like, Facetune exists, people. Okay?
Yeah.
I told her I wasn't okay removing them. They're an essential medical equipment, and I'm not going to put myself in a position to affect my health for just some photos. My sister complained to our mother and some of our friends, and they're all taking her side. Really? This is crazy that they are being so... What is it called when you're...
What?
Discriminating.
You think it's discriminating?
This is discrimination. This is discrimination against diabetics. She could sue all of her sister and her mom.
Well, I think she just wants them to take it off her photos. Like, it's going to look bad in photos. Take them off her photos. It sounds like
she said for the wedding.
Oh, for the wedding.
The whole wedding.
Okay.
Like, there's cake at a wedding.
Just can't
It's
have cake.
risky.
That's true.
She could even inhale it maybe, and it could ruin things. She could die.
Yeah.
She needs to monitor her sugar levels at a wedding. She's walking around all day. It's an event. Like, it's not like you're sitting on the couch.
Like, how bad is it though? Like with diabetes, do you have to be monitoring yourself all the time when you're diabetic?
You have to take a prick like every 5 seconds.
No, you don't have to take a prick every 5 seconds.
Like, you have to take a prick 5 times a day.
Okay, how many times do you have to take a prick when you have type 1 diabetes? Let's see.
You have to monitor it, because if your blood sugar goes too high, you start to faint.
Do you have to?
It's a real disease, Alfie, just because you don't have it.
With type 1 diabetes. Let's see. Okay, 4 to 10 times a day.
That's a lot of pricking.
Yeah, okay, you can get that done. You don't need to just prick yourself. You just go prick yourself. So basically she's saying, hey, this is my day. Do you mind not looking like RoboCop with the machines on your arm and
they're 2 inches long.
What do you mean?
She said they're 2 to 3 inches long.
Yeah, like right here that comes out of her arms.
Just like here and here.
Yeah. Maybe you're coming out. I don't know. But it's like, can she at least get them like colors that match the dress, or is it a big ask? What's the big ask?
That she dies.
Not from diabetes. You just can't have any cake.
I think that.
I guess so. Okay, so read on. Let's see what happens.
My mom suggested I could move them to my stomach, but I've tried that before and it's incredibly uncomfortable. Okay, well.
That's not your day.
Just have it completely stab you in the stomach all night, okay? It's not your wedding.
Yeah. It's your sister's day.
It's your sister's day. When I put this sensor on, I'm stuck with it for 10 days until it expires, and I can switch to a new one. You can buy a new one. I think for this one, just send her the bill for another one.
Yeah.
And although it's probably thousands of dollars in America, who knows? Yeah. Just like Ozempic. And I don't want to be stuck with one on my stomach where it will bother me the entire time. They're all complaining that I'm not willing to compromise at all, but I don't think my health should be an area where anyone that can ask that I compromise at all.
Well, it doesn't seem like your health is being compromised. Your comfort's being compromised.
Yeah.
So it's true. Just like you're making it like about my health is above your wedding. And it's just like, she's like, this is my wedding. It's like, this is my health. And it's like, no.
Yeah, like it kind of could easily be somebody who's like, it depends on her personality, because it could be somebody that's like trying to make it about them. Yeah,
because she's not obviously she's the sister with diabetes. So the older one's getting married. You're stuck here as a bride. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Could be. Yeah, it really depends on how her personality, really. Yeah. I wonder if it's from too little sugar or too much sugar that she needs to monitor. It's could go both ways, I think.
Yeah, but I think after a while, like, you know what you can and can't eat. If you're a type 1 diabetes, it's not like you're new to it or like ate your way into diabetes.
Yeah,
Where
and
it's just
maybe like you said, she could not have it for the pictures and just like. But I think she could sacrifice putting them around her stomach for like 2 days and then buying another set, unless it's a huge expense. I don't know how much it is for these things. 2 sets of monitors is like a lot.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot.
And she said that it's her sister, so she's not even. I think she's just in there because she has to be in there. Because like if they're tight, usually the sister is the maid of honor.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like there's a reason why you're downgraded to a bridesmaid because you're selfish.
That's true. There might be more to the story
Like,
than people think. Because it's true. Initially, my reaction is like, it's a diabetic, Nick Jonas. Like, what? Like, we can't go hard on them. But it's like, there is a certain point where are you being the victim too much here? Playing it up a
she
bit
sounds...
making it about her a bit.
Yeah, you brought up the Nick Jonas. It sounds like she has a purity ring, the virgin purity ring, but it's not by choice.
Not by choice.
She's just annoying.
Well, everyone in the forum disagrees with you.
Oh, what do they say?
They said, I was diagnosed with diabetes in high school in the mid-90s. I had people say they couldn't be my friends anymore because they didn't want to catch it. Oh, no. And people terrorized me when I had to take insulin. I had a friend steal my insulin and syringes and try to kill herself with them.
Jesus.
Kids are cruel to anyone different than themselves.
It's diabetes.
Where school did you go to?
Oh, my God. It's like... Not only it's like it's not AIDS, it's diabetes.
I'm hoping that I don't do anything like this. I hope that the dresses go okay, and I'm excited for the big moment. And we'll keep you updated on wedding stuff. Potentially, if you like this, tell us if you hate it and you want us to shut up about our wedding. But we just thought we'd talk about it.
I'll tell you guys about the bachelor party. All right, have a good night.
Bye.
Peace.